Is the USA becoming a theocracy? That's a question I have been asking myself lately, because of certain statements and the general attitude from the administration in the USA now. As I'm recording this, it's July, the year 2026. So we're talking about the Trump administration, or the second Trump administration. And they talk a lot about faith. I could go into details about their recent, well, it's not so recent, their the faith office, the faith department, whatever they're calling it, which is not really about faith. It's about the implementation of their version of Christianity into everything, and protection, quote unquote, protection of Christianity, because Christians are so very threatened, apparently, in the USA. I don't know. That's a topic for a different time, different video, I guess. But it's ridiculous. So recently, a lot of faiths were removed from the military. I have to look more into that in detail when it comes to what that means, but excuse me. You had, so if you were a soldier, if you are a soldier in the US Army, you would, until recently, be able to be officially in the military regarded as, for instance, a Norse pagan or Native American or atheist. Even atheist is not a faith, of course. It's yeah, let's not get into that, but they have removed a lot of these other faiths, which to me is disturbing, because it goes against the American Constitution. By definition, the USA is not a Christian nation. But it seems like there are people in power now who want to implement a theocracy. A theocracy is, of course, there are various definitions, but it's when you claim to rule under divine governance, or you're following a set of rules that are the rules of your God. And an example of theocracy is, of course, Iran. And theocracies tend to have very little freedom for people, and they tend to be tyrannical. Sorry, someone was walking past, which never happens here. But yeah, so theocracy is not good. You know, you will have less freedom, and typically women tend to be subjugated under theocracy. So it's not really something to aim for, I would say. But it is disturbing what's happening in the USA now. They constantly talk about God, which irritates me, because the word irritates me. The word itself, actually. Because which fucking God are you talking about? I know which one. But when you say God, it implies that, oh, there is only one God, and it happens to be my God. Yeah. But that irritates me. But the rhetoric coming from Trump, and especially Pete Hegseth, that sorry excuse for a, oh, how to put it. Pete Hegseth is disgusting. That's okay. And isn't it funny how people who have been behaving very badly, they are so Christian. They're so Christian. Isn't it funny how that works? But the rhetoric coming from these people is disgusting. And it's pure theocratic bullshit that they're serving people. And I don't know. Some people view Christianity as being all about love and forgiveness. I don't see how you can read the Bible and believe that that is the message of Christianity. I may have said once that that seems to be the message of Jesus, but honestly, I take that back. I'm a bit wiser now. I don't see that as the message of Jesus at all. But you know, the statements, the rhetoric, the hateful rhetoric, this idea of American exceptionalism. It's the best country, it's the freest country on the planet, and everyone wants to come to the USA. Democracy was invented in the USA. It's all, as I said, bullshit. It's not true. You can only nod to that if you have very little historical knowledge. Have you heard about ancient Greece? Have you heard about the Ting system in Viking Age Scandinavia? Have you? It's so ridiculous. It really is. Theocracy should worry also Christians, because it's only a certain version of Christianity that will be tolerated in a theocracy, and it might not be yours. You know, I think one brand of Christianity was actually excluded from the thing that I mentioned in the US Army. So, yeah, it's easy to see where this is heading, and it's heading towards less freedom and a lot more control, of course, a lot more surveillance. We are going to see, probably within the next few years in the USA, more implementation of theocracy. I'm not saying that it will be a pure theocracy within these next few years that are left in before the next presidential election. I'm not saying that, but they're going to move more towards that. And they will combine that with AI and surveillance. So we will have this unholy trinity of an American conservative version of Christianity, AI, and surveillance. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm very glad that I'm not in the USA now. That I don't think I would like that so much, because I value freedom, and I don't see the USA as a very free country. Of course, there is more freedom in the USA than in many other countries. But it's ironic that, you know, land of the free and the brave, isn't that what they say? It's an illusion, but it's an ideal worth fighting for, I believe. Might not be a popular opinion to share. I realize that. So I can hear the clicks. Click, people unsubscribing to the channel. Yeah, and leaving their comments. I got a comment on leave comments. That's not, you know, that's always welcome. But whenever I talk about these issues, I will always get some people quoting the Bible, writing some Bible verses there. You know, it just, don't do that. It just makes you look a little bit like a simpleton, you know, because it's like you can't really formulate your opinion yourself. That's what it kind of seems like. But it's like also, which version of the Bible are you using? You know, that's a whole different discussion, I guess. But this idea that it's the Word of God, listen, I'm an author and I deal with translations because I have my novels, they have been translated to several languages. And what I hate about that, no, don't get me wrong, I love the fact that my novels have been made available to people to speak and read other languages than my native Norwegian. But I realized that when you translate something, there's always a tiny little bit. Even if it's a very good translation, you lose a tiny little bit of the original. You know, it's you can't avoid that. And when we talk about the Bible, you know, stories, legends told and retold, and then written down, and then translated, then retranslated, then edited, re-edited, and all of that, you know. Even if you have this idea that these stories are real, they really happened, you have to realize that the Bible is just a collection of stories, and the original stories are, there is probably very little left in the original stories and legends. But I digress, as they say. Just wanted to make this video here. Probably not so many will watch it, but we will see. It's a warning from a Norwegian man here, just taking a stroll in the woods. Don't let your country become a theocracy. It will not end well if that happens. It has happened before. I mentioned Iran. Iran was once a fairly, at least compared to what it is now, a fairly liberal country. And by liberal, I don't mean leftist. I mean liberal, as in free. Yeah, okay. Have a nice day. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye-bye.